Hello, this is James Horan, and welcome to Let's Get Cooking. We're back in our lovely studio here at Armstrong Appliance in downtown Greenville. We just are really enjoying the holiday season, and it's one of those that we're going to use some leftovers today, do some new things, some different things to try. But we've got a returning friend of ours. Nelda Pack is going to be joining us today, and I'll invite her to come on in and join us. How are you, darling?
Hi, good to see you.
Good to see you, dear. It's how's everything been for you?
Great.
Good.
Great. Going along just great.
Good. Now, one of the things we're going to do today, we are going to, what I found is a sweet potato cake. It's really good. We cook it in a butt pan, but it you can use like old sweet potatoes, whatever. I've made a sweet potato. Do you have a good recipe for a sweet potato casserole?
Yes, I do.
Wow, what kind of stuff goes in it?
Old eggs, milk, sugar, spices.
Well, there you go. So it's got lots of flavor in it.
Yes.
So we're going to basically do the same thing here. We're going to start out with a spice cake here that I'm going to put in the mixing bowl. I've preheated the oven over here to in this case, it's on 325 because it's convection. This is the one of those wonderful ovens by GE, and it will do just about anything. You can cook like a normal bake oven. You can do convection. You can do heat wave, all kinds of options. So we've set it to convection here, and it's multi-rack or single rack, but it gives us lots of options in 325. So that way, like this stuff usually cooks at 350. I put in 350. It adjusted it to 325 for my recipe. So it's wonderful oven here. Makes life a lot easier. So
Makes you wonder if you're capable of running it.
Yeah, it didn't even ask me. It just did it itself. But what I'm going to do here, I'm going to start with this. I'm going to start with this spice cake recipe, and I'm just going to empty it here into the bowl. Now, if you can look on our recipe and see what it calls for next. It's like the first 6 ingredients are what we're looking for here.
Okay. You've got your spice cake mix.
Yes,
You've
ma'am.
got 2 cups of mashed or canned sweet potatoes.
Okay, so what I've got here, I've got the canned sweet potatoes. If you'll go on and open those up.
Okay.
And we'll drain them off here into the bowl. And the good thing about this is it's asking for mashed sweet potatoes. I'm just using them. They're not mashed yet. So I've done it, though, where I've used leftover sweet potato casserole, which works really great. We're going to end up running this for 2 minutes and scraping the sides down. So it's keep the potatoes, if you would. Yeah, there we go. And we're just going to empty those here into the bowl really simple like. Okay.
Sure.
Let's see. What do we call for next?
Oh, next is 3 eggs.
3 eggs. I've got my eggs here. And let's see. If you'll just pull that drawer open there. One of the things that we were discussing earlier, many times eggs, growing up, we cracked them on the side of the bowl. And you'll probably recognize this. And what happens?
Right. The shells turn in, and you're more likely to get eggshell in your eggs.
So
your mixture.
So, well, the other thing about it too is you could also contaminate it too from the outside. So, therefore, you crack it on a flat surface. So, therefore, it doesn't turn inward, and then you open it up. Now, how many did you say we're needing of these eggs?
3.
3. Okay, that's 2 and 3. Okay.
And then a teaspoon of coconut extract.
Yes, ma'am. And the extract, I believe, we already had set aside, so we'll just continue from here. And 1 1/4 cup of evaporated milk. The evaporated milk is 1 1/2, so therefore, if you pay close attention, and you're going to have just about 1/4 cup left of your milk. Now, since we didn't have a church key, I just lost the lid of the milk into the can, so we will just.
But the can was pre-washed.
Exactly. Very good. That's why that's important. And now there's some milk left down here in the bottom. If I turn it over so you can see it, it's going to go all over the counter, so we'll just save that back. There we go.
And then 1/4 cup of vegetable oil.
Okie dokie. And here we go. And that's one thing about it too. It's like those nice little peel-off lids. Now, when they get away from you, it's even more fun. Okay, and about 1/4 cup there. Okay. All right. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna just mix this up on low speed because we got those potatoes in there. So we're gonna go for about 30 seconds just to get moisture around. And I've got my handy dandy little spatula here. And we'll mix this around and then we'll scrape off the sides. Now, Nelda, have you ever made a recipe that has sweet potatoes or potatoes or? Anything fun like that? Vegetables added to your
Yes.
mix?
Yes.
Like?
Well,
Carrot
like
cake?
a carrot cake, a sweet potato pound cake, and also I've made a red bean cake.
Red bean cake. Okay. I guess that had red beans in it.
Yeah.
Is it like a red velvet cake? Is it chocolate or?
It's more of a spice cake,
Okay.
and the beans tend to make it real moist.
Okie dokie.
They're not dominant in flavor. But about a month ago, I was privileged enough to try red bean ice cream. It was delicious. It really was.
We'll take your word for that.
Yeah.
Now,
I have an adventurous taste bud.
we're going to let this beat for 2 minutes.
All right.
But, the cake itself, though, did you see the beans in it when you were?
You mash them. They mash up real fine, just like you were mashing bananas for a banana cake. And
I don't eat banana cake, so I don't know about mashing bananas.
You don't eat bananas or beans.
Well,
It's pretty much like a regular cake, only you add your beans to it, and that gives it the moisture and cuts down on the shortening. And
okay, so therefore, with adding the beans to it, also does that add protein then? So therefore,
Yes,
you're getting both your
definitely.
dessert, your protein,
Yeah.
and everything all at once, huh?
hopefully it makes it more healthy.
Yeah, sounds good. That's what we're doing here with our sweet potatoes as well. But see, and also using sweet potatoes versus, this time we used a can. What we were saying before is just to use a leftover sweet potatoes from a sweet potato casserole, and that would work fine as well. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go on and, while this is beating smooth, I'm gonna go on and spray our bundt pan. Now you've got two different options here. You can either use a bundt pan to cook this in, or you can use a layer cake. You can use 2 9-inch round pans or 3/8, depending on how you want to do it. Because if you do the 3/8, you don't need to split it. But if you did the 2 9s, I'd say split them in half. Because what we're going to do is we're going to come back and we're going to add cream cheese icing. In this case, we're going to pour it over it. But if you split them, put it in there as a filling, and it's just wonderful. And then another option too, with all those layers, we used leftover cranberry sauce with the whole cranberries. So you had sweet potato, that cream cheese icing, leftover cranberries.
Yummy.
It was pretty close to spectacular. We enjoyed it.
Tasty and pretty.
Exactly. Sometimes it's that presentation, getting the color on the plate, Let's see, this is getting just about smooth. And like I said, we've preheated our oven, so that way that's good to go. I'll turn this off. Let me get this so y'all can see this a little bit. And it's really good. It's a nice smooth texture here, and ready to go into the pan. So we'll clean that off here. So this is one of those that you can, it's after the holidays and everything else. Sometimes you try to find something to do with the leftovers. This is one of those opportunities.
That's true. And when you're selecting your pans, if you don't have a round pan and you've got the oblong pan, go ahead and cook it in that, and then turn your oblong cake out when it's finished, slice it in half, and then stack it. You'll have a square cake, and it looks great.
There we go. That way, you get away with lots of things that way, huh?
Right.
Well, sometimes it's just that creativity that gets us into trouble, or keeps us out of trouble, keeps us from going to waste. Yeah.
It keeps everybody guessing, I think.
Oh yeah. Well, there's a lot of guessing to be done sometimes. Okay. Here we go. Okay, and you see that this is going to be filling this bundt cake pan 2/3 full, and we'll get all of that in here with all that goodness. There we go. Try to even it out there as best you can. And once again, it usually cooks at 350. We've set this for convection over here on the oven. And
how would that be to add some nuts to it?
That'd be great. What we're going to do is when we take it out of the oven, we're going to add toasted coconut, pecans, and craisins to the top of it after we drizzle over that cream cheese icing. So it's going to be good. I promise.
You can't go wrong with cream cheese.
I'm just going to go on and put this in the GE oven here. It's on convection. That's good to go. So we're going to have that start cooking, and we'll be right back with more Let's Get Cooking. Welcome back to Let's Get Cooking. We've got our sweet potato spice cake in the oven, And we're fixing to start something else because, you know, guests seem to show up unexpectedly in the holidays. So this is one that's really good because you can do it with kids while they're home. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a white chocolate fudge. So now if you'll go on, what this is done, this is done with the almond bark. So if you'll go on and you'll break that up into some pieces and then we'll microwave it. It's a really simple recipe. What we're doing is we're using the white almond bark and then evaporated milk. And then to that, we're going to add craisins and pecans. So that way there's a little healthy touch to it. So that way, as well as the sweets, the kids are getting some fruit at the same time. Now, what I find to break this up sometimes is to use a knife blade. So that way you can come apart with it. It's basically making perforated lines in it. Makes life a little simpler sometimes. It also makes melting a lot faster.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Especially when the bowl is smaller than your chocolate. So yeah, I ask you to do it and then I take it back, okay?
That's right. I get the same pay.
There we go. Okay, so we'll put all of that into the bowl. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna put it in the microwave for about, let's see, I'm gonna say it's about a minute or so. What I'm using here is the GE monogram. So what we do is we're going to place this in there. There's many options with it. If you're going to use the other with the cooking light or different ones with the convection, they've got our metal tray. We change this out to the glass tray. And what we do is we set it to microwave. Then we can just turn the times and see. So we got it on 1 minute. And then we press start. And there it goes. It's selected. And it says oven, so it should be going. Use white tray. We've got that done. And start. There we are. Really simple and easy. So that one's going there. Now what I'm going to start over on this other side here. Okay. I don't have scissors here, so I'm going to grab that knife and just open up. This is a regular set of a regular roll of sugar cookies. So once again, when those unexpected guests show up, wonderful friends that come calling at the holidays, right?
Yes.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to twist this down from this one end so that way I don't leave a lot in the bag itself. And they come out pretty well. And what I'm going to do is, the reason I'm putting them into the mixing bowl is that because I'm going to add to them. So that way you end up with something homemade, even though it's the first half of the process is done for you. Just like with a cake mix, instead of having to measure everything out, this has everything already in it for you. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up and use 1 cup, somewhere thereabouts at least, of our coconut. So we'll just kind of look at that into the bowl. And so at this point you could make these, if you added more coconut, basically you'd have macaroons. So you can look at that and see if it looks melted enough for you, Nelda.
No, it's not.
Okay. Okay, did you hear how I did it earlier?
No, yeah,
okay.
I did, but I don't.
Okay, we're going to come back. We're going to hit microwave. Okay, and it gives you all the different options here. And what we're going to do is we're going to do time cook.
Okay.
So we're going to select that again. Then we select our time.
2.
2 minutes, okay. And you just keep turning it till you get it. Use white tray, done, and there it goes.
All right.
Really simple. That way, it's simple enough that anybody at home can do it. Just, all you need to do is come down to Armstrong Appliance and get a GE monogram, and it's one of those ovens that'll do everything for you. Even has the Advantium on it, so it's okay. Now I look at that, and I like a little bit more coconut, I think. What this is going to be, we're basically making coconut cookies here, and then we're going to add a little bit of lemon pie filling to the top of them. I think that'll take care of it for there. Okay, yeah. See, it all sticks together. Almost looks almost like bread dough.
Yeah.
So that's how you know when you got it about right.
Really good.
Oh yes. Now, I get tired of washing. There's so much at the holidays of washing. So I've lined my cookie sheets with parchment paper. So we've got that. What I'll do, using a measuring scoop here, or a small scoop. That way they come out the same size every time. Now on our lower oven, once again, these are going to cook at 350. Well, and if you remember earlier, the cake's cooking at 350 also. And by using the convection with the multi-shells, we can go on and we can cook these cookies as well as the cake all at the same time. So these are one of those that I tried them once, and because I kind of questioned whether it was going to be good or not. But hey, I was tickled with them, and served them and everybody liked them. So it's, when they're asking for the recipe, I think they must be okay.
Must be good. That's the ultimate compliment.
There we go. But, and too, it's having these shortcuts at the holidays certainly helps. And you can, if you wanted to vary this, you could even, I guess, put even a coconut cream on the top of them if you wanted.
Oh, definitely.
Just about any kind of pie filling would work. But in this case, we're using lemon. And do you use pie filling for much of anything besides pies?
You can use it for custards and tarts and things like that.
Speaking of tarts, we made some really good tarts the other day. They were brie tarts. You got, okay. Check and see if the chocolate's melted this time. But we made some brie tarts, and basically what I did is I melted some brie itself in the microwave, and then I came back and I had some fresh fruit to go with it. There we go.
That's right.
There. And certainly that way, let me tilt this up so you can see it. And see, it's all melted. It's nice and smooth. And what we're going to do now is add in the Eagle brand milk. So if you'll go on and pour that in, and we'll, and then what we're going to do is about equal amounts of the cranberries and the pecans. Now, see, sometimes I'm bad. I don't scrape all this out just so I can eat it with a spoon, okay? But there's enough sugar for the holiday, so we'll let it go this time. Here we go. Now we'll got all that there.
Ready?
Yes, ma'am. And we'll add our almonds and about an equal amount there of the. I see, and it's starting to thicken up already here. A good handful there. Yeah. There we go. Just a few more, if you would. All right.
Enough?
And so, yes, ma'am. And see, that's already. You saw how thin it was a minute ago. It's thickening up right now. And if you go in and spray the little 8-inch square pan there for me also, Nelda. I'm trying to get down on all the little corners and crevices here of the bowl. Whoop.
There you go.
Fun. All right. And once again, what I'll do is I'll just pour this into the pan here. And you see it's getting thicker already.
Thickerer.
Yes. And the nice thing about these fudges, you can also do it with milk chocolate or dark chocolate. And it gives you lots of variety. And I remember when we used to cook fudges for it, seemed like forever on the stove.
Yes, definitely.
And but that way, that's.
And the candy thermometer business was just.
Oh yeah, and you get blisters on your fingers and the whole 9 yards. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go on and put these in the oven as well. I'll just put them on a lower shelf from our cake. So let me just, so that way don't interrupt it too much. You can see that cake in there cooking really quick there. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll put this into the fridge just so it'll set up a little faster so we can show you what it looks like when it's done. And we'll be back in just a few minutes with more Let's Get Cooking. Welcome back to Let's Get Cooking. I'm smelling the cookies getting done over there, but before I pull those out, Nelda, if you will start, this is going to be a different version. Some more guests must have come up. So we've got some peanut butter cookies, and we're going to do a peanut butter coconut.
Gotcha.
So if you will go ahead and put the peanut butter into here and about a cup of coconut or so.
Okay.
And then before we put them on the tray, if you'll just put them onto here, we're going to roll them. We're going to put some coconut on the plate and roll them in the coconut so that way it'll toast on the outside and look real pretty. Let me get these other ones off this bottom shelf in the oven. We've got it on convection, so that way we're cooking both the cookies and the cake at the same time. Now, while they're fresh and hot out of the oven, I've got another smaller scoop here. And what I'm doing is I'm gonna make a little dent in the top of the cookie and place lemon pie filling. I mean to tell you, this is one of those cookies they just love. You know, okay, it takes a little time, but it's certainly worth it. So what we'll do is we'll go on, it's making a little hole with the back of the scoop, and then we're turning it over and plopping in the pie filling. So it's just for the fun of it too. Now, you know, it's like this looks great the way it is, just with the finished product here, but to add even more fun and drama to it, we're gonna get some, I have got some icing that I've got to go on top of it somewhere. Nelda, have you seen the icing tube anywhere?
Yes, I'll get it.
Okay. And what I do is, like I said, I'm getting these, making a little hole in the top of them. Now, it's one of those, it dents with the back of the scoop, and you drop it in there. And then you're gonna let them cool just a little bit. So that way they're easy to handle. Okay, there we go. And the last one into there. And then we're gonna have the icing here, and we're gonna go back and forth across the tops of them. Just one more. Now, if you're concerned about, you know, how much sugar there is in it, It's the holidays. Just enjoy yourself.
All right. Slow
There
and
we go.
easy.
So how much coconut? About a cup? Oh, a good handful, huh? The handful works. You know, God gave us these ways to measure. It's, you know, it was one of those. My grandmother, when she made biscuits, she used a bowl, and that was just it. She used the bowl. That's the only way there. And I really don't know how she measured. It was all by sight. So it's.
Back in our moms and grandmoms' days, I think that's the only way they did was hand, pinch, sight.
Yeah.
And because some of the recipes I've seen are just hard to figure out.
Oh yeah.
Goes back to the measuring spoons I gave you.
Oh yeah, exactly. You know, but I mean, the fun part about it with those kind of things, you see it, you do it. There was another one that she did was she used a coffee cup.
Yeah.
And it was that one coffee cup that went into her flour.
Yeah.
And that's how she measured everything.
Yeah.
So
They had a pan, a spoon, a whatever for everything they did, and that's the way they did it.
That's the way it worked,
It
huh?
worked deliciously.
oh yes, oh yes.
I need you to get through with that pan so I can.
Oh, okay. Well, let me. What we'll do is I'll set these cookies on off. How about that? And we'll let them finish up here. Let them cool a little bit out here, and that way I can let you have the cookie sheet. How about that?
That sounds great.
Okay. We'll find something to serve them on. But I usually like to let them cool just a little bit longer, because after you make that dent in them, sometimes they want to give there on the bottom of it. So I'll just set them off here to the side. That way you can have the cookie sheet.
Thank you.
Now that looks almost like rum balls to me there.
Yeah, and there used to be a skillet cookie recipe that looked like this. If it was made with dates and Rice Krispies, very
Yes.
yummy.
Okay. Now I'm going to go on and wipe off some of this icing as well.
Please do.
Then I'm gonna-
I don't want yours to contaminate mine.
There we go. Oh, it just make it sweeter, just like having help from people like you. Yeah, you knew I was going to get you that time, didn't you?
Yeah, I've been there before.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to just go on and put these out here. And once again, this is another recipe that you can do with the kids. Sometimes you have to find things to keep them busy during the day. So this is another one that works. Okay. That looks good. It smells good too. And just the consistency, the contrast between the coconut and the peanut butter is really good.
Are you saying it's beginning to smell a lot like Christmas?
Exactly, exactly. So we'll keep working here, and we'll get these all in and on the oven. I'll find something to put those cookies on, and we'll be right back with more Let's Get Cooking. Welcome back to Let's Get Cooking. We got our peanut butter coconut cookies in the oven, and our sweet potato spice cake is all done. So while it's still a little bit warm, I'm going to go ahead and flip it over onto our cake stand. See, we got another towel in there because I didn't bring an extra hot
There is.
pad. All right. And we'll go on and we'll give that a flip. And while that works on steaming and coming out of there, I've got a container of cream cheese icing. What we're going to do is we're going to put that into the oven in the microwave for about 15 seconds. So once again, we've got our glass sheet here. Microwave feature there. We're going to turn it to time cook. There it is. We've got it on 15 seconds and white tray, and it's ready to start. So that's going to do its job there. Let's see if we've got this come loose already. Oh, yeah, I hear it's already loose. Let's just grab it there. See if I can. Maybe. It's sliding real good, I'll tell you that. I've got another spatula here, so we'll, yeah, as long as the cake's out of it, yeah, that's the good news. The cake is free. So we will see that steam coming off of that. It is good and hot. There we go. Out in one piece. That's a good sign. And we've got some toasted coconut, pecans, and craisins, so that way we can put those onto the top of it. I just melted our cream cheese icing. Let's see if it's not quite to a pourable consistency. So we're going to start that again. Microwave, time cook, 15 seconds, and start. What we're doing though is you can use just regular, some that you've made, or in this case, melting some of the ready-made just makes it a little bit more simple. So, like I said, we've got our peanut butter cookies are just about done. So we'll get those out. And know that if you'll get the pecans and the coconut there, that should have it. Yeah, we're pouring now. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour this over the cake, just like you'd glaze any other kind of cake.
You're going to just sprinkle this on?
Yes, ma'am. And see, this cream cheese is going to make it a...
And which do you want sprinkled on first? The coconut?
The coconut goes last.
Okay.
Because it's got longer edges and can catch. There we go. And this was the whipped cream cheese icing. So there we go. It's no particular. I'm going to grab the craisins and put those on. The thing is, while it's still warm, we do this so that way it'll stick. And oh, you're better than I am. See, I just kind of sprinkle.
I know, but mine was falling off.
Oh,
See,
well,
it's running off.
and it's all right because see that way it's sealing up the cake, and that way it keeps that moisture inside. So, oh, you're going to hand me the coconut too? Okay. There we go. And like I say, just get a handful of it, sprinkle it over it. And then you're good to go. Yeah, I know, it goes everywhere, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Therefore, once again, making sure you've got a cake edge that has a lip on it. There we go. But toasted coconut, toasted pecans, and craisins. It's good to go on our sweet potato spice cake. I'm smelling our cookies too, so let me move that out of our way.
Smelling like Christmas again?
It is, it is. They're browning around the edges, so that means they're done as well. These look even more like macaroons to me. But, so we've got these. We'll get these out so you can see those. And we'll have our festive holidays. We'll be right here. Look forward to seeing you next time on Let's Get Cooking.